So welcome. I am Katie Smith, and I am a home ownership counselor out of Adair's Cresswell, Oregon office. So I'm kind of in the Eugene area. Chuck, go ahead and say a few words about yourself.
And I'm Chuck Wines. I'm the regional sales manager for Southern Oregon and the Oregon coast. And I will serve as kind of host today and help Katie assist with questions as we go throughout this process. But today we're going to show the Willamette Plan, and Katie will show this specific house and talk generally about the house. And we'll do a video walkthrough and kind of explain things as we go. So with that said, Katie?
Yep. And I will say, as Chuck kind of alluded to a little earlier, we both love to talk. So please send us your questions. We love all the questions. I'm going to play a video of this, the house I'm showing today, and I'll just pause it as we go to make sure we're all caught up on questions and that we're answering questions as they're relevant to what we're looking at. So please send your questions our way, and just make sure to use that Q&A function, and Chuck will be monitoring that the whole time. So anyway, so we are showing the Willamette Plan today. This is 2,130 square feet. And what I'm going to do is show kind of the standard pre-engineered version of this plan, and then show the concept pages for what this particular customer did differently to the plan, and then show you the house itself. So to start with, the exterior of this house. If you have looked at our website, you know that all of our plans have these kind of pre-put together exterior elevation packages. And I just like to point out that you are not limited to what you see here. So for example, this customer did the traditions elevation of the Willamette, but then they made some modifications. They added a little bit of porch here. But other things I've seen people do, like replace the front looking patio with kind of a timber framed crow's foot design, replace batten board with the hardy shake or the cedar shake, or add shutters, add stained grade corbels. So really, there's a lot of options in addition to that starting point for the package. So don't feel like you're limited to exactly what you see online. In this case, like I said, we started with the traditions elevation. I'm going to show you the plans. Oh, going the wrong way. The plans for this. So here we have garage over here on the right. All of our plans are reversible, so there's not a cost to flip-flop if your property better suits a garage on the opposite side. But we're starting here. You've got this really large covered porch area at the front entry. You come in, front door here, nice entry foyer space, a dining room right off the foyer, and then access to your kitchen from this dining room as well. So you've got this little kitchen here in the corner. As you keep going in the entry to your left on this version, we've got the 2 bedrooms with a bathroom in between. We've got this massive great room space, and then this nook space connected to the kitchen and the great room. So really open concept here. And then on the opposite wing of the house, we've got the primary suite. So the bedroom, the bathroom, the closet, an additional half bath, and then a pass-through kind of mudroom utility room to get to your garage. So now let me show you what these guys did. And I will try to, this is a little more detail on this version, so I'll try to show you what we're looking at. So here we've got this covered porch, and like I said, they extended it so it covers all the way to this entry door that they added into the garage. You come in the front entry, you've got, rather than that larger dining space, they have a little den space. And they shrunk it down because they added this bar section that you'll see, which is really cool as we get into it. Over here in the bedrooms, one major change. So the bedrooms stayed relatively standard. However, if you remember, we had this large utility room over here as a pass-through from the garage into the house. And they decided that a pantry was a little more important to them than a large utility room. So we moved and we made some space over here between the bedrooms and bathrooms to have just this little washer dryer area on this side of the house. So you've got bathroom 2, both bedrooms, and then a utility room. And then in this large space, so they took that kitchen out of this front corner and they pushed it back into the nook space. So now we've got a little more open concept feel, great room, kitchen, and then semi-formal dining space down here where the kitchen used to be. And then last but not least, so they used some of that utility space we talked about to make this large walk-in pantry. And then they gave that half bath space to their primary bathroom. So now they have just 2 full baths, but their primary bath is massive. Anything else important to point out here with their concepts, Chuck?
Well, just in the great room there, we've got a custom wood fireplace that we'll highlight as we go through the plan. And then another thing that these customers did is they actually added to the width of the home. So in the great room and in the entry space, we widened the home, I want to say by 3 feet to make a larger space. So point being is, you know, we can take the plans and modify them. So whenever you look at a plan, feel free to ask your homeownership counselor if a modification you're thinking of can be accomplished simply, you know, and we do it for a living. So we're going to look at it with a discerning eye and you know, make sure that there's not a consequence to the change that we're making, an unintended consequence. We'll try to make sure that the changes that we're making will maintain the flow of the home and it won't compromise something else.
And with that being said, this might be a good time to plug that really there's 3 paths. So you could take a standard pre-engineered Adair plan and upgrade the floors and change the countertops. Or you could take a plan and just reconfigure it like this and better suit it to your needs. Or last but not least, you could bring in some drawings on a napkin and we can go full custom from the get-go. So, so this is kind of just a fun way to get a feel for what we can do as far as modifying a pre-engineered plan. Okay, let's get into the video, which is here. I'm going to pause sporadically there. I think it goes fairly quickly. I always think they go quickly. So I like to pause and just kind of point out what you're looking at. So before I even hit play, I want to say the outside of this house, this is all of fiber cement board siding. So this is James Hardie brand. It's got that 50-year warranty. We're going to do a standard 50-year shingle on the roof. We do lifetime warranty windows. And then what you're seeing over here, so of course, heating and air conditioning are included in our base price, at least here in the Valley. Chuck, is that standard for all locations?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you've got your heat pump over here and you'll see the furnace when we get inside. And then these guys chose to add propane as a fuel source as well. So this is their big propane tank sitting off to the side. I like to point out that this exterior has not been painted yet. So this is not the color the house will be at the end. This is just how the Hardie looks when it arrives. So as we turn, you can see this kind of added porch cover and then the added door. So they can go straight from their front porch to their garage without getting in the weather or what have you. Okay, so here is that modified den. I'm going to pause because I forgot to mention there's a couple of things that weren't quite complete yet when we took this video, and I'm going to try to point those out as we go. But one thing you'll notice right off the bat, these are tall ceilings. So they've got 9 foot throughout, and then they also added a vault in the great room. So really, really tall open space. In this room, this is an upgraded floor. They did a full wrap window trim around all of their windows. So the standard is a drywall wrap. You can do just a windowsill. You can do a full wrap. There's different styles of trim. So lots of options as far as finished carpentry is concerned. When we shot
Do
this,
we know roughly what these customers did for upgrade totals from a standard?
yes, hold that thought. Let's pause right here where we have a cute view. So as far as upgrades go altogether, they did about 120,000.
Okay.
Yep. So they decked this thing out. We're going to come back to the great room, so I'm going to hold off on talking about any of this. But off to our bedroom wing of the house. So when we shot this video, you're going to notice that, or maybe you won't notice, but the baseboards hadn't been caulked and painted yet and the trim around the doors. And I will say, since they've ordered this house, Adair has modified the specs to include interior and exterior paint. And I am someone who loves to paint, but having just built an Adair house myself and painted the baseboard, I can say I never ever want to do that again. So it's a really amazing change that Adair has made on the new spec package. So we've got here in this bedroom, no modifications. They've got an upgraded, slightly upgraded carpet and then that window wrap. And then into bathroom 2. So they did do a modified door package. As a standard, we do that 6-panel door. There's a handful of other designs to choose from. And then they also modified their door levers to match kind of their plumbing fixtures and their light fixtures. So they've got the same finish on all the fixtures throughout the house. We've got a tile floor in here, which we don't really get a good angle of it or a good view of it in this bathroom, but you'll get a good shot of it in the primary bath. So they did a solid surface countertop here. They upgraded to undermount sinks, which now in our new package, we just include undermount sinks whenever you do a solid surface. They've got this paint grade cabinet door, and then they modified the knob slightly. So usually we would do just a brush nickel knob throughout. They preferred the pulls on the drawers, and you'll see that consistent through the house. Typically, there would be a big full-size mirror right here, which I think that's what's leaning against the wall over here. But if you have like cutesy little framed mirrors you'd rather provide on your own, then you can absolutely omit the mirror. So you're not required to go with our standards. So we do plumbing accessories to match whatever the plumbing fixtures are. And then in this bathroom, we've got just our standard tub shower combo with a shower bar for a curtain that matches all the other accessories. Chuck, you've been quiet for a while. You have anything to add?
Well, just one of the nice things that we do that you'll kind of see on this side of the house is, when you're working with a homeownership counselor, you can be very targeted with the way you build a quote. Do you really want to put money into bedroom 2 that you're never going to be in, or do you want to leave that more standard? Things like that, some minor modest upgrades in this bathroom, but nothing that's going to break the bank. So for people that have a vision for a spa bathroom or an outdoor living patio space or a gourmet kitchen, you can definitely focus your money where you want to focus your money. We'll be really transparent with the pricing, and kind of show you how we're building the quote for you. So in any given home, you can kind of prioritize what's important to you.
Mm-hmm. Love that. Okay. So next in line, we have that newly created utility space. So you can see they've got a different floor in here. They went with this, one of our standards, and it's sheeted vinyl, and we have like 20 to choose from. There's a lot within that standard package. They kept the same matching cabinet package in this room. And then of course, we're going to provide the plum plug and vent for the washer dryer, but the customer provided their own appliances. If you don't love cabinets over the washer and dryer, we can always do our standard wooden shelf, just a 5-foot shelf here. Or you could do a custom package. So I like to get into cabinets when we're in the kitchen space, but all the cabinets are made to order. So there's more options than what you see. All right. This last bedroom over here, we've got that same slightly upgraded carpet, the closet with bypass doors, the full wrap window package. I do like to point out that when you modify like your doors for that we saw that 2-panel square top that they did outside the room, we make all of the doors in the house match. So your bypass doors and your closets are going to match. All of the little pantry doors, hall closet doors, they're all now going to match. Okay. And they've got the same beautiful, this was actually a custom floor that they picked. So this is a Shaw floor. We work exclusively with Shaw for our plank floors. It wasn't one of our standard offerings. It's one that the customer asked us or requested that we custom price for them. All right, so in this great room space, so previously, if you remember, this was a little nook over here and it had a sliding glass door. Once they moved the kitchen into this corner, there wasn't really a need for obviously a sliding glass door over here. So they scooted it down the wall and turned it into this atrium door. They added recessed lights throughout this great room. And then they added this wood burning fireplace. And the mantle is not quite done yet here in the picture, but they did, oh my gosh, when you order a fireplace, we ask you about 50 questions. So they've got their wood burning, they've got their cultured stone surround all the way to the ceiling. They chose to elevate this stove off of the floor a bit so they could have a sitting hearth with these hearthstones. So they've kind of made it the focal point of this whole room.
And something that these customers did that was really useful is they had inspiration pictures that we could share with our purchasing department to make sure that we understood what they were trying to accomplish. Pictures that you could share with your subcontractors so that little things don't get lost in translation, so that what you have envisioned in your head is what translates into the real world. So just removes questions as far as that kind of stuff goes. And that's true of this bar area specifically. He literally gave me a map of exactly how he wanted the bar area to be designed, down to where we wanted outlets on the walls facing the inside cabinets. So you can get very particular if you have kind of that engineer mindset, exactly what you want.
Mm-hmm. We, in this office, at least, we always encourage people to bring, their Pinterest boards or their lookbook or any motivation or inspiration they have to that design appointment, because you're right, it really helps to see their vision. But this bar area right here that you're looking at is the reason why that den is a tiny bit narrower than the typical space. So they did these really great built-ins. They've got kind of this wine fridge space left open, storage shelves above, and then just a lot of added countertop. Okay, so I like to pause here because I love this arched opening. So this space where the kitchen was previously located, they now have as their dining room. And they modified and made this arched opening into the rest of the common space, which just adds a lot of character. And then this kitchen. Okay, so this is when I plug that all of the cabinets are made to order. So once again, when you're doing the design meeting, we're going to ask you so many questions about your kitchen configuration and how you plan to use it and what you need in here. So as a standard, we're going to provide a 30-inch range, a microwave hood, and a dishwasher. These guys did what we call our gourmet layout, and then they actually chose to provide their own appliances. So you can work with one of our appliance packages if you don't like the standard, or you can absolutely delete the appliances and bring your own in.
And this one actually was the KitchenAid package. We upgraded the KitchenAid package.
Oh, I'm sorry. I saw that he provided his own section here.
Yep. Nope. That's the KitchenAid set that we do.
Very nice. It looks good. Okay. So when you do the gourmet, then I'll just point out, you now have a 36-inch cooktop, a 36-inch vent hood, and then an oven with a microwave on top. Chuck, I don't think this is not the standard KitchenAid package. This isn't a microwave, it's a double oven.
Oh, yeah, it might be, huh?
Yeah.
It's probably our cooktop.
I just like to point that out because it never ever happens when I know something that you don't. So I'm going to have to save this recording. But usually we would do a microwave over here, or a microwave built in, an oven built in, and then a second oven under the range. As you can see, we modified these cabinets to accommodate the exact appliances they intended to provide. And then they have drawers over here under their cooktop rather than the standard second oven. But again, so you can do, as far as your cabinets go, you could replace all the cabinets with drawers. You could do a Lazy Susan. You could do a plate rack, a wine rack, pull-out shelves, trash can drawers. So it's all made to order, and it's all about what best suits your needs in the kitchen. This has been a really common thing we've been doing lately, is deleting uppers and leaving space for open shelving, or even providing the open shelving. But what you're seeing here is just a recessed panel painted cabinet. There's lots of paints to choose from. And then they did a granite countertop with an undermount sink, which of course we now just include an undermount sink with your solid surface. They also took our standard 6-inch subway tile backsplash and modified it to this really cool glass backsplash at full height so it hits the cabinets above. I would say probably really popular changes I've done lately are You know, one countertop and color cabinet on the kitchen perimeter, and then something entirely different on the island. That's always fun. What about you, Chad? I don't know. What do you do, or common changes you made?
On houses, you know, more it's the cabinet details, you know, the pull-out shelves, the lazy Susans, the, you know, just those little details, you know, if it's your second or third home, and you can start to understand the value of those things. And so since the cabinets were made per home specifically for that home, you know, we can modify and tweak all those things. So just going through a lot of cabinet options with people.
Things that make your life a little easier.
Mhm.
We've also, it's been really common lately to do full height uppers, so you're not left with this space above. Not quite as possible with a vaulted ceiling here, but with 9-foot ceilings, absolutely. Or just adding those 1 foot tall above every cabinet glass front cabinets. That's a cool look as well. So I wanted to point out, I'm sure you noticed, but the deco panels, the end of this island was not quite complete when we took the video. So it won't look like this when it's all said and done.
We're in the punch list phase of this home.
Mm-hmm. All right, so this is their little dining room. I believe they did their own kind of trim, kind of faux wainscoting look here. It turned out really great, kind of gave a little dimension to the room, separated their two colors. And then it's just a nice sized dining room. It feels quite a bit bigger with that giant arched opening. So that was a really great touch.
One of the changes that we made recently is on these arched openings as well. We now just trim them out. So it seems to be what people are kind of expecting and things like that. So we just sort of made that a standard. So whatever you choose for a base mold and a trim package, anytime you have like an arched opening like this, it'll end up being trimmed out.
A cased opening.
Yep.
One thing to point out here, I know lighting is often very important to people. So these recessed lights that you're seeing in the kitchen space, these are standard, they're included. These out in the great room were added. And then for pendant lights, we have a handful of pendant light options, or we can always just do the electrical rough-in and you can provide your own, because as you probably know, there are 1 million pendant light options out there to choose from. All right, so we are headed down into this modified primary suite wing of the house. So we now have this just massive storage closet, matching doors, bypass doors. And then here, where our utility half bath space was previously located, we have this giant walk-in pantry. These shelves are standard. Usually we would do just a standard swinging door at a walk-in pantry. However, they had us delete it and just leave the case opening so that they could add their own barn door or some kind of track door after the fact. And then we have their giant bedroom. So 6-foot window is standard out the back of the primary suite. One thing I didn't say, and I usually say at the beginning, is that windows can be added, deleted, modified, turned to doors. The sky's the limit. So they could have chose, you know, move this window open and over and add a whole nother window, or add windows on this wall, or add a transom window over the bed. So based on the views and the natural light you're trying to bring in, there's tons and tons of options for windows and doors.
And again, as a reminder, if you do have any questions that have came up in your head, please feel free to share them with us, and we'd be happy to try to answer anything you might have.
All right, this bathroom. Let's just pause right here. So as a standard in this bathroom, there's a 6-foot vanity with 2 sinks. Whenever the vanity is large enough in a primary suite, we automatically include the second sink. These guys, with that space that they took from their half bath and their utility room, they rounded the corner and made an L-shaped vanity. So they have this massive vanity, and they now have kind of this makeup counter. And these makeup counters, I've done them where we leave a drawer, or we have drawers down the side, or we even lower them so it's a different height than the rest of the vanity counters. So there's lots of options here. They've carried this same subway tile backsplash through both of the bathrooms. The standard is a subway tile in either white or an off-white. So they picked one of the other options we have, which we use Imser tile for our I don't know if that's universal for all Adair branches, but here in Oregon, we use insert tile, and there are tons of options for backsplash and even flooring tile and shower tile.
One small change we've made recently is instead of doing one large vanity light in the middle between the sinks, we now do two lights over each sink. So it seemed to be preferred by the customers, and so we modified how we do that, and we do a light over each sink now.
And then they added this keyless light over here over the makeup table. I imagine they have plans for something here, something very
Sconce or some sort, yeah.
You know what I just did on a house was a ceiling fan in the bathroom, which I was thinking, you know, I've never done that before, but they had really tall ceilings, and the lady I was talking to was like, you know, I like to stay nice and cool while I'm putting my makeup on. I'm like, that makes perfect sense. So just again, having lived in houses and knowing what you need and knowing what you're looking for, people come up with the greatest ideas. All right, this shower. So this is a full custom shower. It is obviously larger than your standard 5 foot by 3 foot. They've added a bench. They've added this removable head. And then they opted to do glass that they're going to do themselves. So what we call this is just glass ready. We tile to the ceiling when we tile. And then you could choose on a standard size shower to do just a fiberglass tray if you didn't want the tile on the floor of the shower as well. But they went all out on this one. You could choose to add multiple shower heads or a shower head system or a rain shower head. We use all Moen plumbing fixtures. That's the important thing to know here. And I think we get a better shot of the shower when we come out of the closet here. So large walk-in closet. We typically do the same flooring in the closet that we do in the primary bedroom, but you can change this if you don't want carpet in your closet. We've got shelf and pole all the way around.
There's an easy standard option to do like a double shelf and pole if you want additional, or we can just always delete the closet hardware if you want to go with one of those, you know, fancy closet systems.
Just take a look at this shower, seriously. So they've got 2 shower heads. You could choose, so the standard size niche that comes with our tile showers is a 1 by 1. You could choose to make it larger or eliminate it altogether if you don't think you need it. What else? I mean, what else needs to be said about this shower?
And again, they were just very specific with us about what they wanted. So down to the size, the height of the benches, the depth of the benches. They had a real specific vision. And because they were able to give us, you know, that kind of information, we're able to execute well for them.
As far as other options, if you have a specific vision in mind, you can add deco panels. You could do a different tile in your little soap niches. So that's, again, shower is a space where we ask you a lot of questions. Okay. Another shot of this. I just think they utilize the space so well in here. They were able to, such a good setup that they designed. All right, so the back of the house. So this is the standard, this is kind of what we call the grilling porch on this plan, or the grilling patio. So this comes included. They've got this atrium door, of course, that I showed you from the great room. And then the chimney or the smokestack from their wood burning fireplace. Gutters, at least in my branch, gutters and downspouts are included in the base package, and so is exterior paint now. Wherever there's an exterior door, there will be a light, and then there are lots of other lights to choose from if you don't like the one that's included with your elevation or your exterior elevation. Then I believe we're back to the front. Do we have any questions?
Let me take a look here. Nope. Q&A is empty.
Okay. Well, then I like to kind of wrap this up by saying, I'll let it play again, but it's not ever too early to reach out to your local homeownership counselor. So if you are just wondering where to start, if you're wondering if this is within your budget or your means, or if this is a good fit for what you're looking for, reach out, get that information. I mean, you have someone locally in your area who is an expert in this kind of this whole process, and we'll be happy to just lay it out with you and help you make those decisions and determine if it's a good fit for you. Chuck, I know you want to say something.
Oh, no, just, if you never know where people are at in the process. So reach out to your local office, speak with, your representative, feel free to ask your questions, understand what, all the costs that might be associated on a property that you're looking to build. The time is always now to start planning, because for most of the customers I've ever worked with, it's, that information helped them make a roadmap and a plan to accomplish their home and their dreams. So it all kind of begins with that, and it's never too soon to start making that plan and seeing if this is going to be a good fit for what you want to do.
Agreed. And I know budget is always a major topic of concern getting started. Is this the best plan for my budget? What is my budget? So I would say Adair Financial does a soft credit pull, and that's usually the path I encourage people to start on. If you're just wondering, hey, I'm not ready to fully commit to this, but I'd like to know, what I can do. They're always a great place to start. And then you can talk to an Adair loan officer and just get a feel for how construction loans work. And then of course your homeownership counselor can also give you the lowdown on what a construction loan is and how that all works and how you get started. One other thing, so this wouldn't be a Chuck and Katie virtual open house if we didn't talk about site prep. So I will say, when you look online and you see a house that you like and you see the price for that house, that price is just for the house. There's two other cost components: the property and the site prep. And site prep to us is just kind of a catch-all bucket of what needs to be done to this land in order for a home to be built there. So we're talking building permits, excavation, compacted gravel, bringing utilities in, kind of the whole nine. When you work with Adair, you've identified the property you're looking at or that you're interested in, or you have a accepted order, or maybe it's a property you already own. One of the first things we want to do is come see it with you so that we can just really get a feel for your vision, how you anticipate the house sitting on this lot, or how you would like it to sit on this lot. And then additionally, what work needs done as far as site prep is concerned. So once we have done that, you essentially have two paths you can choose between. You can do what we call owner equity, which is where you say, you know what, I feel comfortable taking on site prep myself. Not necessarily meaning that you're going to do the work yourself, but that you're going to choose which excavator you work with. So you're going to pick and choose your contractors. You're going to get bids, and you're going to find out exactly what your site prep is going to cost you. And then option B is what we call turnkey, which is where you say, I'd prefer to just have Adair bid my site prep and the house. So we would take the bulk of the work off of your plate at that point, and we would just write you a bid. Hey, here's what it's going to cost for us to develop this lot. If you are working with a construction loan, either path you go is covered by your construction loan. So it doesn't make a difference to your lender if you're going the turnkey path and Adair is managing your site prep, or if you are going the owner equity path and you're managing your own site prep. It's just a matter of how involved you want to be or you're comfortable being. What I know you have stuff to add to that as well.
No, that's great. I mean, no, that's perfect.
I'm definitely saving this recording. So what we would do is just kind of hold your hand through either path. So either we're telling you, here's the bid you need to gather, here's who to call, or here's, suggestions when you need help, or here's your bid for site prep. Let's order this house. So either way, we're not going to just leave you out in the wind to sort things out on your own. We are happy to hold your hand and help you as much as you need. Other than that, Chuck, I don't know. Are we wrapping up?
I think we're good. Last call for questions.
Okay.
I think we're good.
All right. Thank you so much for co-hosting.
Yep. Thanks for joining, everybody.